YouTube, what it do? It's your boy TWV checking in for episode 18 of 40 Years of WrestleMania with TWV. If you watched the Monday Night Raw recap episode earlier today, I am under the weather dealing with a cold, but the content must not and will not stop. I'm going 40 days straight. They're going to have to take me out of here before I stop pushing this content till I go to Vegas. Knock on wood, you know what I'm saying? So, but this episode is WrestleMania 18. It took place on St. Patrick's Day, March 17th, 2002, at the SkyDome in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. This is the second time that the WrestleMania was at the Toronto SkyDome. It was at WrestleMania VI in 1990. The event marked the final WrestleMania event held under the WWF name, and the Attitude Era as a company entered the Ruthless Aggression Era in April. It was renamed to the World Wrestling Entertainment a month later. They had a lawsuit with the World Wildlife Fund back in the day, and they lost it, so they had to switch their name. It also was the last WrestleMania held before the introduction of the brand extension, just a week after the event. The record-breaking attendance for the SkyDome of 68,237 grossed approximately 6.1 million Canadian dollars, which would translate into 3.9 million USD. So let's just get the elephant out of the room automatically. This WrestleMania was built around The Rock versus Hogan. That's the only promotional ad for WrestleMania 18. It's not like no other posters showcasing matches. Like I found the graphics because somebody, of course, uploaded them. It's the internet. But there's not a single other promotional poster with anybody else for these matches, which is kind of trash because the Rock versus Hogan match stunk in my opinion. Yep, I'll say it. I seen an article where it said it was the best match of the WrestleMania. Like I said, wrestling is very subjective. I didn't enjoy it. It was mediocre. It was like a 2-star. Hulk Hogan hulked up at the end. The Rock hit him with 3 rock bottoms. You know, pass the torch moment, but it stunk. It was definitely not compared to Cena versus Rock when Rock passed the torch to Cena. Cause like I said, Hogan was not a worker. Hogan stunk. He put on his working boots for this, but not how he put on his working boots in that match against Randy Savage that I said, or the Ultimate Warrior match. No, not the Ultimate Warrior match, the Randy Savage match. The Ultimate Warrior match pissed me off. So yeah, forget that match. That match stunk because of how it ended. But let's not get long-winded on previous WrestleMania's matches. With that being said, let's get into the 4 matches that I did like on this show. So the first match was The Undertaker versus Ric Flair in a no disqualification match. And man, this was an all-out brawl. They beat the brakes off of each other. Undertaker was bleeding from the cheek. Ric Flair had the crimson mask, and Jim Ross yelling on commentary, "Flair has a crimson mask!" And they just beat each other all around the arena, man. Going through announce tables and some more. It's definitely a 5-star match. Might be Ric Flair's best match while he's at WrestleMania. Well, if from the WrestleManias I've watched, like Ric Flair showed his ass off, and he was selling like a mug. Like, it's a great match. I loved everything about it. This is a recommended watch, 5-star. It'll definitely be on the list of matches when I do my recap of my favorite 40 matches of all 40 WrestleManias. So with that being said, let's get into the next one. So the next one was Edge defeating Booker T. They had a feud over a Japanese shampoo sponsorship. Edge is from Toronto. He was a hometown kid. This match did not go long. It was only 6.5 minutes. It was really fun though. They went out there and they put their best foot forward. Booker T was extremely entertaining. He was in there doing the spin-a-roonies. Edge, of course, got the victory, of course, since he was the hometown kid. I liked everything about it. It's a 3-star, but I liked it. I definitely enjoyed it. I like seeing Edge in singles action post the TLC era with him and Christian. So it's cool that he got the win. With that being said, let's get to the next match. So the next match was Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Scott Hall in a singles match. And another one was like an all-out brawl. The ref got thrown out the ring a couple times, got knocked out a couple times. Kevin Nash, because he was part of Scott Hall's part of NWO. Kevin Nash was in there with him, trying to interfere. He pulled the ref out at one point to break up the pin after Stone Cold hit Scott Hall with a stunner. Like, it was a 10-minute match, but you were invested all 10 minutes. It was really fun. I really enjoyed it. It's a 4-star. Nothing that blows the roof off, but I definitely recommend watching it. I enjoyed it thoroughly. Stone Cold was just, man, when that glass breaks, you tune in and lock in on that TV screen. Stone Cold is, of course, all time, but I feel like he's really underrated as a worker. That just might be me personally, but he could go in that ring, man. Like, he can really go in that ring. Unfortunately, he had to retire early due to Owen Hart breaking his neck. He really couldn't come back from that. But Stone Cold's a legend in my book. Scott Hall is the first match that I ever seen against Shawn Michaels. So y'all know how much I love Scott Hall. Rest in peace to my dog. So with that being said, let's get into the final match that I enjoyed on this show. So the final match that I enjoyed was Triple H versus Chris Jericho in a singles match for the undisputed WWF Championship. Outside of Stephanie McMahon being in the match so much, I enjoyed it. Like, if you subtract Stephanie McMahon from this match, this is a really great match. Triple H and Chris Jericho went out there, and even though they were the main event, they got overshadowed by The Rock and Hogan. I feel like they put on the better match, so that's why it's on the list. They went basically almost 20 minutes, right under it at 18:41. And man, I was locked in from the jump. Chris Jericho was attacking Triple H's bad leg, because I think he just came back from the torn quad not too long ago before that. So I definitely enjoyed this match thoroughly. Chris Jericho at this time, this is like pre-peak Chris Jericho, so he was like about to hit that stride. Chris Jericho is definitely an underrated worker from easily 2002 to 2010. I loved everything about it. So I'm definitely a big fan of it. Triple H. I wouldn't say he's an underrated worker, but people say he can't wrestle, but I don't know how. Triple H once he got older, like 2012 going down till he retired, yeah, he lost it. But in his prime, he was that guy. So Triple H is definitely one of those interchangeables on my Mount Rushmore. One day I'll do a video about my Mount Rushmore and go into detail with it. I feel like that'd be something cool. But with that being said, it's your boy TWV checking in and checking out. I'll catch you tomorrow for the NXT recap and episode 19 of 40 Years of WrestleMania, which will be WrestleMania 19. Peace.